What's up, everybody? I am so happy to be back out on the road now. I'm in Alabama, just before the Mississippi state line on Interstate 10, heading down to Texas. Let's talk about it. So they finally called me 2 weeks later that Peterbilt is back ready to go, better than ever. It wasn't anything crazy. It was a preventative maintenance issue that the DPF filter had to be cleaned. It's due every 300,000 miles. I was 294,000 miles, something like that, and truck shut down. So my fault. I should have caught it at the terminal. But am I happy to be back on the road? Yes, I'm happy to be back on the road. I enjoyed the time that I had off. The hotel for a week was less than desirable, but for a few days I got to go home, hang out with parents. That's always fun. Love just, being home, not having a grind to get up to every morning. But got the truck back, picked it up Friday morning, and still down in Atlanta. And fleet manager got me a really great load going to Houston from Atlanta, so that's where I'm at right now, heading that way. It's a dry load, so the reefer unit's not running, which is really nice, especially when it's cool outside. It turns fall and wintertime. You don't have to worry about listening to the APU run, because you can leave the windows cracked. But also, you don't have to listen to the reefer crank up and run, however often it starts and stops, or if it's on continuous run. So it's awful nice to not have that thing running when I'm sleeping right there. So yeah, I'm happy with this load, and it's in Alabama. I'm 70, 60 miles from the coast. The weather's beautiful. It was cool last night. I didn't have to run the APU, just left the windows cracked. Had a nice breeze coming through. Luckily, the other people that I was parked beside didn't run their APUs either. They were both flatbeds, so I know they were probably nervous when they saw me pull up, but I'm not running the reefer, so APU wasn't running. It was nice and quiet at night. Got a lot of good sleep, so super dirty. The parking lot at the Peterbilt in Jackson, Georgia was some gravel, some paved, so I didn't even worry about getting it washed. So, breakdown pay. How does breakdown pay work? I didn't know it was a thing. I talked to Marlou. He said, yeah, I got breakdown pay while I was broken down, so I was at least hopeful that there was going to be some kind of help, paying while the trucks broke down. So called Road Assist, said breakdown pay is $225 per day after 48 hours of being broke down, and there's a catch. If you go home, you don't get breakdown pay. So breakdown pay is not meant to pay your lease. It's not meant to pay bills. It's meant to pay for you to stay in a hotel on the road, get food while your truck is being repaired. So $225 a day, doesn't start until 48 hours after you've broke down, and it stops if you go home. So this trip, I was in the hotel for a little over a week, and I went home for a few days. My balance turned out to be $1,800 is what I'm going to get for breakdown pay. It won't be on this check. It'll be applied to next week's check. So what was wrong with the truck? Nothing really. The only thing wrong with the truck was it was due for preventative maintenance, DPF cleaning, system service cleaning, DPF system cleaning service. I don't know. The DPF system has a filter that filters the exhaust to make exhaust clean, and that filter is supposed to be cleaned at like 300,000 miles. This truck's at 292, 293, and it actually crippled the truck. There's no way to really check. There's a digital gauge on the dashboard that shows you how full the DPF filter is, but every time it regens, the engine will do a regeneration. It'll clean the filter, so it goes back to zero, which is what happened when I was broke down. I got the high soot on the filter light on the dash. It told me to pull over. It throttled the engine down, and then so I pulled over. I said, oh, well, I was in stop and go traffic in Atlanta for the last 2.5 hours. So the engine has to get up to a certain temperature to be able to burn off what it's putting in that filter, if that makes sense. So the hotter it gets, it'll clean the filter. Well, in stop and go traffic, it doesn't really get hot enough to go through that process on the road, which is when these trucks are supposed to do that to begin with. So I was like, okay, well, I just sat in traffic, stop, go. So I'm thinking the engine didn't get hot enough. It didn't have time, or didn't have the correct temperature to go through the process, so it's wanting me to do it now. I pull over on the exit ramp, got my flashers on, cones out, triangles out, vest on, all that stuff. So I do the regen, and it's, between 10 minutes and 2 hours, I think, is what the book says is how long it can take. Well, it took 30 minutes. So the digital gauge, again, on the dash went back down to zero. It was clean. I was like, perfect, keep going. Told my fleet manager, hey, I'll be to the delivery, I'll still make it on time. I just had a 30-minute delay. Get back on the interstate, light came back on, same thing. So now I knew something's wrong. So yeah, basically that filter was so full that it couldn't clean any more exhaust, but the digital gauge on the dash said that it was clean, which is the weird part. So again, there's no physical inspection of this piece. You just have to go by the mileage and the preventative maintenance recommendation of interval to change to clean the filter, in other words. So anyway, long story short, that was one issue. Another issue, the tow truck driver, to tow these trucks with the truck and the trailer, you have to disconnect the drive shaft from the drive tires. So he's doing his thing, and you have to take apart that knuckle right there to where when the tow truck's pulling the truck, the drive shaft isn't spinning, and these tires don't lock up, don't skid down there. You can tow the truck when you disconnect the drive shaft. He stripped out a bolt on the drive shaft to take it apart. So what's this mean? He can't take the drive shaft apart, so he has to pull the axles of the truck. And I'll let you guess which one he had to pull. See all that grease and oil? Nice and clean. So he's got to pull the axles, both. One from this side, the other one from that side. That's another charge that I had at the Peterbilt dealership for them to reinstall and add gear oil to the axles that have been reinstalled. And they had to fix the drive shaft screw that is stripped. So that was another charge. Hopefully, I say hopefully, I'm gonna try to get the tow truck company to pay for that. Road Assist, they said they never do. We don't do enough business with them for them to take it seriously, so it looks like I'm out that money through no fault of my own. The third thing, when I was at the terminal, was it about 4 weeks ago? I had those few things done to the truck. Also, there was a computer update that was done by Peterbilt. Peterbilt guy came out from Springfield, did a computer update on the engine, the computer. There's a lot of things. He hooked a laptop up to it and basically changed some settings, and it's supposed to be an update Well, that update is the wrong update. It blew 2 fuses. It wasn't a big deal, but what it did, at night when I park in a truck stop or rest area like this, I'll turn my headlights off. Those will stay off, but I'll leave the park lights on. That way, if somebody has the back end beside you, you can mark the edge of your truck so they can see, what kind of clearance they have. I don't know. I just like leaving them on. Do it, some people do, some people don't. So at night, that visor has lights. The amber in this headlight comes on. This front corner marker comes on. This door marker comes on. The tail lights behind the tires here come on. And the marker lights and tail lights on the trailer come on. So basically all the lights are on except headlights. So no white light is on while you're parked. Well, when they did this update, they blew 2 fuses, and they're still doing this to all the Peterbilt trucks right now. So if what I'm about to describe sounds like you need to get a new update and you need to get your fuses replaced. When I turn my truck is completely off, key in the vertical position, off position, and I turn my park lights on, this light and this side door light were the only ones that would come on. So this light, the front corner and the headlight corner marker, wouldn't come on. So basically from the front of the truck, only light you see is this, which when somebody's trying to back in beside you, they need to see that so they don't hit you. So I went back and forth with the shop. They're like, no, it's normal. See, here's another truck in the shop that's doing the same thing. Well, talked to Peterbilt and they're like, yeah, that's the wrong update. Replaced the fuses, got the correct update in there. Now, all my park lights work. Let's see. Truck is off. One marker, visor marker, headlight marker, front corner marker. I'm telling you, it was super, super aggravating to be told, no, that's normal. That's how they all are. That's just the way it's supposed to be. It's not. So, that's the way it's supposed to look. Light, headlight, visor, and side door. So that was the other thing that they fixed. And they charged me an hour's labor to fix that. So now I have to go through Road Assist and through the Peterbilt rep to get Peterbilt in Springfield to pay for that update that had to be done because their update screwed it up. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm hoping to get back maybe $300, $400. The total bill was $1,700 plus an $1,800, or no, excuse me. Bleh. So the total bill was $1,700. DPF clean service, put the axles back in, and put the new update in the computer. $1,700 and $825 tow bill. So, kind of in the hole, but thanks to you guys that have used my driver code, I actually got a little bit of a bonus this week. So, I'm still in the hole by a lot, but that little bit from the driver code referral actually, bumped me up just a little bit. So, thank you so much to the person that used me, that's retained here at Prime for 30 days. That's really cool. That kind of helped me out. I appreciate that. If anybody else wants to use my driver code, I'd be more than willing to give it to you. You don't have to use it, but if you want to, MOJESG. When you call and talk to a recruiter, I recommend that you use my recruiter, Stacey Barrera. She did a great job with me. I never went to voicemail with her. She always picked up the phone, replied to an email, whatever it was. I never had to wait for a call back. So, shout out to her. But anyway, yeah. So, heading down to Houston, drop this load, hopefully get something else. But yeah, kind of my week, 2 weeks in a nutshell. It's been hectic, but it was nice going home. I can't stress how nice it was going home. I love being out here on the road. I love driving around all the different states, seeing different things. But man, going home was nice. Hanging out with my parents. They got their pool cover installed, which sometimes can be a pain in the butt with 2 people. So I was able to help them get that pool cover installed. They're starting a YouTube channel too. Kind of through my encouragement, I guess. They sell antiques and furniture and just junk, I guess. Not junk, you know what I mean. They have an eBay store that's pretty successful, and they also have a booth at a antique mall in Lexington where I live. So I'll put a link to their page and their eBay store and all that stuff. If y'all want to go look at some antiques and furniture, see what they got to offer. It's called Fresh Picked Vintage. So it's kind of got a cool name, little funky feel to it. So anyway, I've started helping them make a few videos. So if you watch their YouTube videos and they look familiar, they might remind you of my videos, format and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now and do my vehicle inspection and get on the road. It's a beautiful day. It's about 4 o'clock here in Alabama. This is Central Time. So got about a 8-hour ride ahead of me down to Houston. And yeah. It's good to be back on the road. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you again on the next one.